Hey there, friends. Foster the Canadian here with the Pro Perks Podcast. With me today is GreyShamrock and some muted guy named Riley.
I thought it'd make it better.
Yeah?
Well, it didn't.
You sound remarkably younger than you did last time.
I do.
What? Oh yes, I am no longer black and or a 40-year-old man.
Wow.
Or two-shot.
Two-Shot apparently is a black 40-year-old man now.
Apparently.
All
Well,
right,
I said and or for all three of those, so we could mix match like a 40-year-old black guy, or a 40-year-old two-shot, or a black two-shot, or a two-shot 40-year-old, or a black two-shot, or I'm repeating myself.
My head hurts.
Or none of them.
Or none of them, yes. But I did sound very old. If you're wondering what the difference is in the mic quality from the Blue Snowball and the mic I'm using right now, I am using, and I know Riley will make a joke about this, but I am using my Astro Gaming mic, and it sounds much better on the PC than it does on the console. It sounds like garbage on the console, and I really enjoy using this mic since it's way easier. Anyway, guys, how are you, Foster, and how are you, Riley?
Riley, you go first.
Yeah, I just had to that out of the way because I knew he would have a laugh about it.
Okay. So I'm pretty good.
Well, way to spark up way to spark up a good conversation.
Sorry, I thought you said how are you? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just said, oh, I'm doing okay, and then pause for a very awkward time. But
Sorry.
Yeah.
Foster, how have you been?
Oh yeah.
Rough few days, but couldn't be energetic and whatnot. And yeah.
That is awesome.
Hey, Foster, I have a question.
You didn't raise your hand.
Ah, crap.
No, I'm not going to take questions from you.
What?
You just make jokes. Alright, GreyShamrock, you're a good student.
Oh,
I
wait, thank
sounded-
you, Foster. And you are a good instructor.
No, I actually had a teacher once. I'd raise my hand for every single question, not because I knew the answer, just because I wanted to talk. I liked talking. So, I raised my hand, then I'd be like, oh crap, I don't know the answer. It's time to make a joke. But it got to the point where the teacher actually said that she will never take, my question again, or my comment, because she doesn't ever like what comes out of my mouth. But to be fair, all that time I had some great insight that the teacher just did not realize.
Well, that's that teacher's problem, and they'll never know what it meant to have you a part of that question. So
Yeah.
That made no sense.
Yeah, that didn't make sense, but, whatever.
Are you guys ready to move on into these topics?
Yes, we're going to talk about gold.
Yes, we are. So, if only I had some. So, in recent news, about 7 hours ago, Xbox One was confirmed to support external capture devices. So what that means is not only can you record very easily, might I just add, but only 5 minutes on your Xbox One on startup, but you can now, I guess you could say you can upload, like live stream, as much as you want through an Elgato or an HD PVR if you are old school. Whatever your preference is, they are confirming that you now can use external capture devices.
Yay, we can still do the same thing we've been doing.
Yeah,
Woo!
and there's not much on the PS4. The PS4 is still confirmed to only have 50 minutes of gameplay uploading, like record 50 minutes of gameplay and then upload it to Facebook and or YouTube, however that works. But there's still no confirmation that the PS4...
There will be a company that makes a product that will be compatible with the PS4. Even if at launch there isn't anything that works, they're going to find a way around it because it's going to be a popular console and people are going to want to record. There's always a workaround.
Right, of course. That's like, I think for the PS3 right now, there's this huge copyright block on it. But you can actually...
But now let's
split
get to the
HDMI.
byproduct of what this really means. Grey.
Okay, so I did a commentary on this a couple days ago, by the way. Everyone is becoming a YouTuber. And might I just add, real quick, I don't know if this is the byproduct you're talking about, but this is the byproduct I'm talking about, and I'm proud to. But with everyone becoming a YouTuber, it's going to be harder for people like Riley here, whose YouTube channel he'll give away right now, right, Riley?
He's giving away
What?
his channel! Everyone, look under your seat! You get his channel! And you get his channel! Everyone gets Riley's channel but Riley! Yay!
Riley, are you going to talk about your channel throughout this?
What channel?
Your channel. The one you are actually on this podcast from.
Oh, okay.
Alright. Fuck it. I'm just gonna go on. With everyone becoming a YouTuber, it's becoming increasingly more difficult to actually get noticed. And let me present to you this kind of
I can
question.
agree so much on that.
Okay, shush. Is it a bad thing that we are now being forced to harbor even more of an overpopulation with everyone buying a console that can now record and upload, given the situation that they have internet that is capable of uploading and recording? Or is it a bad thing? I mean, is it a good thing that we can now share our own experiences and show how much A, fun, or B, what we can do on these games? Is it A or B?
You know what? I think I'm going to go off the board here and say that I see it kind of like a new generation of YouTubers, but I think that because people be so they're going to be flooding the market with videos that aren't very good. The pacing's going to be off. Regular
Right.
things that we all struggled with at the start. Like my first videos, I didn't talk in one constant stream like I do now. This is something that I've learned how to do over time, and I learned how to edit. And I think that when you flood the market with lower quality stuff, I think that the really good stuff that we've worked on a long time on, that's going to shine. And I think that it might actually be good for these channels that have been established over time, because we have the experience that these guys don't, so by comparison, we're going to look much better. I think that that could be a very good thing for us.
Foster, you are like optimistic in everything. You be World War III, and you'd be like, "Well, at least we don't have to have a job now," or at least,
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Riley, where do you stand on this? Do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing?
I pretty much just agree with everything Foster said.
that's a
think-
good move.
Yeah.
That's a very
Foster,
good move.
I never thought about it your way. Like, with this kind of platform, I guess you could call it, then we can now build off of it. I see your point. But
Yeah.
in my opinion, I still believe it's a bad thing, because with when I first got started, I was awful. I was a squeaker, one, I had a bad mic, two, and I don't know how this mic is, by the way, but I wasn't that good. But I was able to commentate even at a younger age, and from there I have really bettered myself. But with everyone else joining in and the saturation in the gaming community, there we go, I haven't seen much improvement. I really haven't. I see all of these new YouTubers, everyone that's spamming my inbox with, "Hey, can you check out my channel? Hey, I noticed you like Call of Duty. Hey, you want to check out my channel? Hey, I noticed you like the EDM. You want to check?" No, I don't want to check out your damn channel, because I know
Exactly.
it sucks. When you give people an inch, they're gonna take it a mile, and it doesn't look like they've taken that mile. I've given them a view, subscription, etc., etc. It doesn't look like they're using it though.
Well, it's one of those things where I mean, wow, that dog just...
Kill the dog.
You see, the dog's trying to get me to look at his channel right now. I just got to ignore him.
Yeah,
Okay,
block
so
him.
it's one of those things where, people... I think those kinds of people are the people who get very discouraged by YouTube, that see, a month of work, they've only got like 20 subscribers, and they go, "I'm out." And it's the people who are really hard to find, like you and I and some guy named Riley that I know, that really work on their channel and stick with it, even though, all these smaller YouTubers are kind of quitting around them for the same amount of views that they get. I know I actually worked with someone who was getting the exact same number of views and subscribers, like exactly on par with me, the entire first few months that I was on YouTube, and we were working together and trying to, share editing tricks and really grow from it. It's an experience that I've really treasured because it improved me as a YouTuber, and he gave up because he saw the views that we were getting and didn't think that it was enough. And
What?
Oh, that's bad.
it's something that, I kept going, and now my views are much better than they were.
I don't like make videos. Like the only reason I posted Drawsome is because my editing system stopped working. But
Oh, I like
I
your
don't
videos
do-
on Totally Drawsome though. Go on.
thank you. But I don't really like to quit on things. Like I don't give up. And I forgot where I was going with this crap.
Never give up.
Wait. Let me think
Never
of it.
give
I was
up.
gonna say
Remember,
something
don't
in,
give
like,
up on this. What you're trying to say here.
Shamrock
Some guy
just had
named
to say
Riley,
something and throw me off
2013,
course.
never give up.
I did.
All right.
Oh
I'll
yeah, I
finish your
remember.
thought
I
for
remember.
You
I
don't
don't
post that
do
many
it.
videos.
I remember now. I don't do it for the money. Like, I don't do it to get popular. I'm not doing it to get money. I'm just gonna do it, to make people stay brighter, I suppose. I like to make people happy and fun and giggly and
I
stuff.
see. I see. And that's my stance.
Like baby
I'm not really into the, making them happy or anything. I mainly post because
I don't like
I like
people being
to.
happy.
Not
Yeah, I
happy
hate
ending,
when
just
people are happy.
laughing, okay?
If you come to my channel and you're happy, you get blocked. But if you are in this for the money, if you are, as another YouTuber once said, if you are in this when creative and corporate interests collide, you're damned to fail. And that's true in all cases. If you are turning a hobby instantly into a money-making device, you're damned to fail. It doesn't work like that, and it's not going to work like that on YouTube. You can't make a YouTube channel in one day and say, I can't wait till I get my first dollar off this channel, because it takes several months, if not, I guess you could say years. It did take several years just for the original YouTubers.
Money.
Right. And it took several years for the original YouTubers like Woody's Gamertag, White Boy, etc., to actually get partnered. And
Yeah.
I have a
even with all their dedication, go ahead.
Who is Woody's Gamertag? Everybody keeps on talking about him, but I have no idea who that is.
He's known as the father of the gaming community. I don't know if that's true all the way around, but
He's kind of like the heart and soul, if you ask me. Like he's someone who really cares about the. I'm gonna sound like I'm just sucking up to Woody's Gamertag. He sucks, and I hate him. But no, he's someone that I think a lot of gamers look up to, and he started, I guess, a revolution in gaming where people, I guess, make videos from the heart. And that's what I feel in his videos, is all of his videos feel very genuine, and that's why I watch his videos, is I like how genuine they are. That he's not afraid, he doesn't hide behind anything, he says, alright, this is my style, I'm going to be completely open and honest with it,
I'll be right back.
and I hope you guys accept it. What?
I said I'll be right back. I'm gonna get a better
He's leaving
mic.
us for another
The host
podcast.
has
Right
left!
Here, go on, Foster. I'll be
He's
right
leaving
back.
us
Oh,
for
man.
another
It
podcast.
won't take more than a minute.
Shamrock, I thought you were different. I want you to have your
He's
stuff and
going on
leave by 6 in
PKA,
the
he's
morning.
leaving us for Woody's Gamertag now.
How dare he?
Oh, man.
I really thought he
I
was
wish.
Whoa! Jerk!
different. Uncalled for.
Alright, so Goody's Woodertag, he's really great, what?
You said Goody's Wooder Tag.
Go on.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's a good YouTuber. I like that. I like his series that he does called AKP already, something like that. It's
You're funny.
yeah, I'm very funny. So let's move on because we've been talking about Woody's Gamertag for a bit here.
Okay, point is... Okay, sorry, I'm using my blue snowball again. So, point is...
Good choice in microphones, by the way.
It is. Point
Buy
is,
it.
what I'm trying to say here is, with the YouTube saturation that we've seen, and the gamers that have come onto YouTube for no obvious reason but just to get popular, they're dead weight. And I've seen YouTubers that are bigger than me, and yet they have a wobbly ass iPhone for their game cap card. You didn't see my air quotes there. And they're bigger than both of us. I mean, that's bullshit in my opinion, but I guess dedication and one goal to get popular really, grants you a foot in the door already. So, what were we saying before you started talking about Woody?
We were talking about Goody's Wooder Tag.
We were talking about. That's what this episode should be called. Just Goody's Woodertag.
No.
Dude, no.
talking
That's
about?
what we're naming it.
For
That's what
fuck's sakes, what were we talking about, people?
We were talking about the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One and the onslaught of new
Right.
YouTubers that are going to come from it.
Yes.
Good.
So I find it pretty interesting to talk about. I was trying to find my words carefully there. It's interesting to talk about it because we don't know much about it, and with that in mind, we can think up some stuff that we wouldn't otherwise think if it was confirmed. Before we had no idea Xbox was going to get an actual external cap card support, and it wasn't until that 5 minutes of gameplay. Most games on Call of Duty, unless you're playing a real quick game of CTF, don't even last like they're not 5 minutes. They're way above that. At least 7 to 15. And with the ability to think up some stuff without it being confirmed, meaning a bit less, like more space, in other words, we can actually give them better feedback. There we go.
More better feedback, the message.
More better feedback.
Better.
More better.
Okay.
More better, or better more. Anyway, let's see what else. GTA 5 also got another update. They're talking more about it, gave some good gameplay. And more information was released. You guys want to talk about that game?
Yes.
Oh, I know some information.
Go ahead, Riley.
GTA 5 is going to have puppy dogs.
I hear it's going to be a sequel to GTA 3 and 4.
Psh, no way.
Are you actually kidding?
You're kidding me. What?
No, it's going to be a sequel. I believe it's actually going to be the installment in the franchise that is the latest to date.
No shit.
Wow. No, all right. So go over what's been revealed, I guess.
Okay. I don't know if you were kidding. You're serious about that, right? Or no?
Yeah, it's going to be the next in the franchise. Let's move on.
No, I meant... Okay, whatever. The gameplay is rumored to... Like, the actual campaign. We really haven't seen that much of multiplayer. There is a set date that we will be able to see a multiplayer reveal, I believe on the 13th of this month. It's sometime this October, maybe the 23rd. But, yes, we will be able to see what the multiplayer looks like. It looks beautiful in the actual sneak peek they gave us in the reveal trailer on the official Rockstar channel on YouTube, which I will leave in the description below if you guys are interested in seeing the latest update. But the latest update is said to, you will play as one of them. You will have the chance to play as all three of them. They will become friends at one point, but you will not, all three of them will not be as one group at the very beginning of the game. It will take time to lead up until you meet them, become friends, start side missions, start the main missions, etc., etc. It will be time until you actually find them.
I like that.
Now, they didn't give us
pretty
any word on who you're playing with exactly. They said you'll be stuck to one player for a couple missions, and then it's going to lead off from there. But they didn't give us any guess on who. I suggest it'd be the Family Guy. You know what I'm talking?
Yeah.
There's
What's
Trevor.
the name of the other? Trevor. I like
Trevor.
Trevor.
Wow, like he looks. He's
Gonna be so
I
funny.
don't want to mess with that guy.
Oh.
Who's Trevor?
Trevor's the guy wearing the wife beater and the trailer or whatever.
You remember the guy that was stuffing the body down the toilet, right? That's him.
Oh.
I actually didn't watch the trailer.
Oh.
Now, if you were, for some reason, if you're a Saints Row 4 fan, I did get some information that was leaked off of the actual site. There will be more than one player to play as usual.
Breaking news.
Yeah, this is to the main campaign though. You will have a second side partner, I guess you could call them, since I guess you are kind of a superhero, air quotes around that, or you have superhero powers. But anyway, back to GTA 5. Oh my god, the the multiplayer looks amazing. Have you guys seen anything about it? They had a couple seconds of it. They had a couple seconds of it at the very end of the reveal trailer. It shows a jet flying by. It looks flawless, by the way. It looks real smooth to handle, real free whenever you're flying.
I'm thinking second disc. I'm definitely thinking that multiplayer is going to be another disc, because that game looks friggin' good.
Oh,
There's no way they can cram that all on one Xbox disc. Maybe one PlayStation 3 disc, but man, my mind is blown at. And here's what I'm hoping will happen, either with DLC or in the game day one. But they've always had these great worlds in Grand Theft Auto. They've had these open worlds that are perfect for zombies. Now, I know zombies have been done to death, but Red Dead Redemption had Undead Nightmare, probably my favorite DLC ever. If they have something like that in, what's the new city called in Grand Theft Auto 5? The one that's
Los Santos.
Yes, thank you. If they put zombies in that environment, think of the craziness that could happen.
That's not really Grand Theft Auto material. Rockstar's really never dealt with DLC. They have had Ballad of Gay Tony, and what was the other one? The Lost and Damned.
Lost and Damned.
But they really never, and I really mean this, they really have never dealt with anything supernatural of any kind. Ghost.
But that
No. I'm saying right now they did in Red Dead Redemption, same company, same style of game,
no, I mean,
same engine.
Yeah, right. I mean, Grand Theft Auto series, however, they really never have dealt with supernatural material. Like, there are rumors that when San Andreas first launched, I mean, like the first 1,000 discs they launched, there were rumors that you could find CJ's mom's ghost in the house.
I thought you were talking about the Bigfoot rumor.
Yeah, me too.
That was always a mod. I even installed it.
Yeah,
Speaking of mods,
I hit him with a dildo, and that was pretty funny.
I saw
there was a rumor that you could find CJ's mom as a ghost, but that was once again denied, and it is a mod as well.
Yeah,
saw...
that could be something that the modding community takes on, is putting zombies into that world.
That would be pretty
listen
cool.
to me, Foster?
Hey, go ahead, Riley. Go ahead.
I've been trying to say, they actually already made a mod for GTA 4 PC zombies. I saw it like a year ago.
I know what you're talking about.
It looks so epic.
So,
it's like
and
an
Riley,
infection one, but that's
I'm
not
gonna get serious
5,
here. I'm gonna get serious here, Riley.
All right, yeah.
You respect your elders.
Oh God.
You respect your elders.
Hey, Foster,
No.
remember last week?
I respect
feel
people who deserve
so
respect,
old.
Foster.
I feel so old.
I feel
okay.
so old. It's like
Foster,
2008.
I don't respect you. I respect
years
your
ago.
beard.
Syrup,
Well, thank you.
13 years ago, you weren't even here, and Foster was. How old were
Oh
you?
yeah, I
then,
was
Foster?
too, because I'm like 14 now. So what up?
Whoa! Happy
Okay,
birthday!
Okay, I'm actually not 14, but I'm almost 14.
You
I still would have been
lied
there.
to me. I wish. You
No,
happy
I was
birthday.
born 99, not 2000, so I still would have been here. So
Okay,
what up?
Well, at
we're
least
not
you
going
were
into
born-
birthdays. So,
Last millennium.
new topic, or you guys want to continue on this Grand Theft Auto 5 train? Which one?
You know what? I don't like concentrating on things that are this, I guess, timely.
Mhm.
So let's move on to something that maybe is
Okay.
a little more broad.
Okay,
Can I
so-
say one thing?
Go ahead,
Okay.
go ahead. By all means, go ahead.
Foster?
Well, I mean, we have here on the list, internet becoming better.
I was just going to say your
Yes.
beard is awesome.
Oh,
Now-
my beard is always epic.
Yeah.
I attract a lot of subscribers from other channels, not because I'm a spammer, but because I share like opinions that can be agreed on to a certain extent. That's not my point. The internet, if you've ever noticed, is real shit. If you're not in a stable place, like if you're not in a metropolis, if you're not in a very big city, like for example New York or Toronto, you will most likely not have the best internet. Is that true, Foster?
I'm actually, okay.
Riley, talk, man. Go ahead.
Foster? Oh, so I thought Foster was going to say something, but
No,
I
go
guess he
ahead.
disappeared. So, I actually went
Did
to
not
a really
disappear,
fancy
I was
city in
just fixing
Texas
something.
called Granbury, Texas, and if you're a resident, they give you free Wi-Fi. And that's like really, really good, like fiber optic Wi-Fi throughout the whole
that's-
city.
That is awesome.
But you have to be like
Wait,
registered and stuff.
wait.
If they have a
So
house.
is this the same thing that they were going to plan on doing, where they would have like blimps carrying Wi-Fi signals around Africa?
Oh, dude, that is so
What?
sick. How come I never thought of that?
Well,
so cool.
because
you're
you
a
probably
teenager.
don't work for an internet provider, I'm guessing, or a
Well,
world
actually,
government.
all right. Well, let me go on with my thought then. But point being, if you're not in a really big city, or you're just not in a very good city, that is, you're probably not gonna have the best connection. It's real faulty. It's not that fast, etc., etc. And with the cable companies becoming better, because here's the thing: whenever there are two different companies, there's Verizon and Time Warner Cable, for example, you have competition, but that's not just for the full 10 miles, for example. That's not just for the full ride to get you connected to the internet. That's part of it. If, let's say I go with Verizon Fios, because fuck Time Warner. If I go with Fios, then that's only part of it. They can connect me to the very last part of it, say, what's that one everyone has, like Comcast? Let's say Verizon Fios is fast enough to connect me to Comcast. From there on, it's Comcast's decision if they want to give me 50 upload or 10 upload, because of the bottleneck, problem they have. Because there's all of this traffic coming from Time Warner and or Verizon that's all heading into Comcast, and they have to all transfer that out, making it the bottleneck. They can't transfer it all out all at once, otherwise this huge entire crash of servers would happen and no one would be able to get through. So with that being said, Comcast really isn't benefiting from this. They don't really care whether or not you're happy with your internet service, because guess what? You're paying them, not me. If you're on Netflix, that's not my situation. I'm not getting paid for that. If you are on HBO, I'm getting paid for that since you're on my network. I'm Comcast, you're on, cable, in other words, then I'm getting paid for that. If you're on Netflix and or Hulu, I'm not getting anything out of that, so why should I have to improve? Now, they're finding out ways to adapt, you could say, to survive in this kind of economy, to evolve in order to actually survive in this kind of solution to this problem. And with that being said and that being done, we will see way better internet than we've ever seen before. And Foster, I know you have pretty faulty internet. Is that true? Like, because of when that one time the whole internet came down? Remember that?
It does like every couple of weeks. It does break out for a little bit. Like, it's usually only an hour or two that the internet's out. But when it's on, I have 100 meg download and I think average 35 to 40 upload.
Damn, that is awesome.
So it's really good. The only problem is they do go down a few times a month. So it's one of those things that I'm willing to, I guess, put up with, especially when I hear about American internet. And I'm like, maybe it's not so bad that it goes down every couple of weeks, as long as I got my 35 to 40 upload.
Freedom! Open up!
Okay.
Riley, how's your internet? I never hear anything out of you when it comes to the internet connection. Like, how is that?
Riley has disappeared into a void, it sounds like. So, I guess we'll move on. So, Gray, what do you think of this void that sucked up Riley?
Well, I think with the better internet that's coming, I think we'll be able to talk to him in the black hole that he just went into.
Yeah, exactly, because I think that's really the future is interstellar internet. Because when you're, talking about astronauts who are going to be traveling throughout the stars, I'm talking, of course, a few hundred years in the future, they're going to have an internet connection, and it's exciting to think that, we'll be able to travel hundreds of light years away from Earth and still be connected to the same internet. That's, the most optimistic view of this. This is like Star Trek stuff, but...
Okay, we hear you now.
We can kind of hear you, yeah.
Yeah, there you are.
Anyways, internet-wise, I have no idea. I just connect to my internet.
Here, I'll send you a link to check up.
All I know is it's AT&T, so it sucks.
Oh, of course it does.
Okay.
It's AT&T, but yeah, the internet thing, it's gonna be improving.
I think that the internet is the next big thing.
It's been the next big thing since 1970, bro.
Actually, the internet wasn't around fast enough for a lot of people to get on, so...
Riley, you actually were born yesterday, weren't you?
I feel so old! I feel so old being 13 years old.
I know everything.
Like, books were invented, 100 years ago, guys. Move on.
It wasn't that big of a thing.
Dude,
he's a very strange hipster. He's like, hipsters are rare, but he's a rare hipster. Like, he's like, yeah, I've been on the internet since you were in diapers. Yeah, that means before you were even able to be on the internet.
Dude, I'm serious.
I'll even put a song in the description
right
now, and
I'll buy a computer and get on the interwebs in 1974.
No, you couldn't. There was no.
You could.
No, there was.
I'm googling that, dude. I read a big article.
No, I know how the internet.
You guys go check it out, and that's exactly what Riley is over here. It's called Cutthroat Hipster. I think it was
internet.
No, what you're thinking of is the what was it? The ARPANET, and that was still in the 1980s. The actual internet.
Around in 1974.
What? No.
I'm going to Wikipedia.
Oh, good God. You know what? We're going to play some funky music right now and cut back to Riley being wrong. Can we do that? Can you handle that?
That link I just put in the chat right now,
developed
that's
in
exactly
the late 1960s and early 70s using a variety of protocols. ARPANET.
ARPANET! That's what I was talking about!
Crap! I know nothing!
Riley.
What?
Do you understand the difference from an alpha, beta, and actual release?
No.
Do you understand what develop means?
No.
Just because
I
they're
mean,
developing...
develop, yeah, I don't know why I said no.
Alright, let me
I don't
ask
know
you
what that
something.
means.
Whenever they were developing The Last of Us, did you finish the campaign then?
Dude, do you think I'm that stupid?
I'm not saying you are, but that's the impression you're giving
Trying to
us.
make a point. Okay, look, let me just explain here right now that there were networks that could connect to each other, but they were not the internet. Like, when you say the internet, you're talking about being able to globally connect to this web, World Wide Web, that www, you know that.
Yeah, dude, I'm not in 3rd grade. I know what www
Yes.
is.
Well, that did
I
not
didn't.
exist until, I think, when was the World Wide Web established? 1991.
I thought it said like
1989. 1989, I think.
1989. All right.
Let me look that up, because I think Riley may be right here.
Yeah, what up, son?
I thought it was like early 90s, like 90, 91.
Yeah.
But the
yeah.
World Wide Web is what I consider the internet. I think
at
it's,
you,
it's
Mr. Know-it-all.
what the internet is. When you were in 1974.
1991, you're right.
Oh, there we go. In 1974, what would you even plug into your computer? And how would that connect to the internet? It was
Speaking
a
of
very
that, hold up,
isolated system. It was a very isolated
This
system
is
of
such
different corporations
bullshit.
that connected.
Dude, this is such horseshit. Douglas Engelbart, who was the main developer, he actually came up with a blueprint of the computer mouse, something that is very simple, but we had no idea at the time before he came up with the blueprint. He died this year, July the 2nd. Where the hell was he in the media? He created the mouse. Before then, we had to type in sourcing, like / find, and then, you know, the file name. And now we can just go about the computer with the mouse. Where the hell is he?
I don't think that, honestly, I realize that it's very important, but I don't think that he deserved to be a celebrity for coming up with the mouse.
No, but when he passes away, and he's created such a very revolutionary evolutionary device that is very simple nowadays, but has really come a long way, where the hell is he? I mean, they even had the guy that came up with the floppy disk on the media, and he's not a celebrity.
Well, I think that those are two very different things. With the
Not
guy
at all.
who...
Not at all.
Look,
It's
I
not.
don't think that...
I'm sorry to interrupt you here, but the guy that created the floppy disk, he's still alive. He's 85, about to turn 89. Actually, no, he is 89. 86, I meant. And he created the floppy disk, and he's in the media from time to time, like, oh, it came from this all the way up here. But someone that created, like, here, I'm going to type in the chat something that we would have had to type in. Go ahead and talk.
I'm talking about stuff. But my point is that there are lots of inventions that are standard in our daily lives that are very important, but because they're important, that doesn't necessarily mean that the person who invented them should be hailed. I mean, there are a lot of people who... do you know who invented, let's say, the keyboard, I guess? Or the traditional, QUERTY keyboard?
No, I do not know.
Exactly, and it's one of those things that, although it's important, the person who invented them, they made their millions of dollars off of it.
Right,
they
right.
got their fill, and if they would have continued to invent and create all this stuff, I'm sure that they would have been, I guess, celebritized the way that Steve Jobs was. But if all he did in his entire life was invent the mouse, decades ago, and then was like, all right, I call it quits. I'm sure he was big when it was invented, but now, he laid stagnant for so long that it doesn't really have an effect on us.
Foster.
Actually, okay.
Go ahead. Riley, by all means, talk,
This is
please.
pretty random, but it's about the QWERTY keyboards. Like, I read a big thing. I remember one time, like,
Dude,
in
you
school
call-
when I was in
you
6th
call it that
grade, like, our
too?
teacher, like, she would make
my
us try to
God.
type really fast on QWERTY keyboards,
Yeah.
And I remember I went home and read an article about QWERTY keyboards, and I came back to her the next day, and she's like, "All right, kids, start your typing or whatever." And I wasn't typing like she told us to do really fast. She's like, "Why aren't you typing fast?" And I explained to her that the article said that whatever Schultz, the guy who made it, the QWERTY keyboard, actually designed the QWERTY keyboard so people would go slower and not make mistakes. And I was like, so why are we going so fast when it was invented to go slow?
That's not random.
It's
That's
like
pretty
using
cool.
a car not to go anywhere.
I thought I was the only one that said QWERTY keyboards. I thought everyone.
Well,
else
I didn't want
it.
to say it and then be. I was going to
Right.
say it, but then I'm like, I should just use the letters so people know what I'm talking about. And the reason we call it that is if you look at the top, the first letter on your left side is Q. Following it to the right is WERTY, and because we can phonetically pronounce that, we refer to them as QWERTY. Because you can't really call it an ASTVG.
Dude, that'd be the weirdest thing ever. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna go. I got this new keyboard from Razer. They make QWERTY and then they make ASTVG, and I use the ASTVG because I think it's better.
I
Sounds
use
like a pretty good insult.
It's a good point, Riley. You QWERTY piece of ASTVG. But
Needless to say, I got suspended, but it was totally worth it.
You got suspended for.
I didn't do my work properly, so I got suspended for a day.
that sucks. Oh, for a day. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I still don't. I don't.
I
like
told
to-
her
what
though.
is-
I
Okay,
told
what-
her.
yeah, you did, and you did prove something. But what I typed in the chat right there /find equals and a what are these called again? Help me out here. Brackets. I think that's what they're called. Brackets, I guess. In brackets, it says source file. That's just whatever name I want the file to be, and then 1.0 with the little apostrophe. That's what we would have had to type, but in the longer links. If it wasn't for this guy that came along with the
I'm sorry, my mic.
for the mouse, you can hear me. As you can see, I was muting my mic. If I wouldn't mute my mic a bunch of times without the mouse, I would have had to type it in. And yeah, that's either. I see your point, Foster. Because he made his millions and then he disappeared, we shouldn't have to reintroduce him as this, this one celebrity that reinvented the whole internet. And of course, he didn't reinvent it. We were like a lot of people were against it because, quote, I had this. My parent had this one professor that said it's making more people lazy and we should not be tolerating this mouse and etc. etc. So there's a lot of ways to look at it, but I'm still thinking, where the hell is this guy in the media? Because without him, that's what we'd have to type. If you wanted to find Facebook, guess what you would have had to type? You would have had to type a bunch of source saying go to Internet Explorer, download Google Chrome, exit out of Internet Explorer, go to Facebook, etc., etc.
Well, here's the thing: the mouse isn't even the final evolution. I think the final evolution is going to be either an optical or neural interface with the internet.
This isn't even my final form.
Google, what was the Google Glass? Yeah, Google Glass and Google Fiber would be like the most badass thing. Like, you can instantly look up things with your Google Glass.
Exactly. So the mouse is just sort of. It's going to be like the fax machine. No one's going to use it in 20 years from now.
I wouldn't say that.
That's a very good point, Foster.
Well, maybe not no one, but it will be a lot. I mean, people still use fax machines,
Right.
but it's not as common as it was in like the 90s. And if he didn't invent the mouse, who's to say that someone didn't invent, like, I don't know, the computer glove? We wear this glove, and that actually sounds cool. It'd be like
Dude,
the
that does.
Nintendo Power Glove. Okay,
You know what? That's what I was
we-
thinking about
I
too.
need to get that
Power glove.
patented. I like the computer glove idea. I'm gonna look that up. Computer glove. That's-
Nope, I'm
that's-
patenting up first.
No, Riley, this is mine. Computer glove. Where?
I mean, Bradley, what do you think? Do you think this is a pretty cool thing? Like, we should have featured him on the media?
Yeah,
Or
I
are
think
you
he should have been
with
on media when he died.
That's pretty recent. That's pretty recent.
Yeah, pretty recent.
I think he was. Maybe wasn't something giant, but I mean, I'm
Yeah.
looking right now. I typed in his name, and I see that CBC has an article on him. So does BBC. I'm assuming CNN did something. And just because we weren't there that day watching the news, I think we feel like it just sort of slipped by us. But I think that if we were really
like
paying
my whole life.
attention on July 2nd, we would have seen a lot more about him. Because the fact is, right now we're talking about him. So it's not like he was a nobody. We're talking about him right now.
I went to
True,
I just
very
searched
true.
the web and I saw it indexed by Google. Speaking of, real quick, wait, CBS cable giant blacks out CBS stations. Damn, that sucks.
Man, that sucks for you, yo.
Out of the real cool fact here, out of the, I don't even know how to pronounce it. I think it's sextillions, and like times.
Oh my goodness.
Times
Hold on, I just would like to take
that
a
number
second
times
for
a billion gigabytes, like no, terabytes worth of information on the internet. Google says that they have only indexed 0.00000 10 more zeros 4% of every single piece of data on the internet. They've only indexed that much.
And that's a lot.
That is an amazing amount. Like you can't even reach the very end. Like if you search in a very common thing, you're not going to be able to reach the back of the Google pages. Like
Nope.
you know how it goes 1, 2, 3.
Although if you search my name, you will find an end pretty quick. But I would like to take a moment where we all are silent for a second here to enjoy my neighbors partying above me. If we listen really closely, we can hear the shouts and screams of
I don't think that's
what
a party.
I can only assume
I
is a
can hear
drunken
this
brawl.
I don't think that's a party.
It's something. There
I
were
can only hope.
That's a very cool party. I want to join.
Oh God.
See, I can be.
I would also like to take this moment to bring up a new topic.
Go ahead.
Mad Max, the video game.
Oh
have
yeah,
you
yeah.
seen
Go
the
on.
movies?
God, dude, I've seen I've seen like half of one, and I liked it, but I didn't get to finish it since my dad had to go to work and it was like on his hard drive. And I was watching off the hard drive, and he used this as a hard drive for work. But like I remember, like one of my friends was talking about it, like when he first saw the commercial, he's like, "Oh yeah, Fallout 4," and then like, dude, but I'm excited for that game. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I'm wondering.
Like everybody
What
keeps saying
exactly? Like I watched. I think I've watched a little bit of Beyond Thunderdome, but I know for sure I've watched all the way through Mad Max and The Road Warrior. And Gray, have you seen these movies? Any of them?
You said Road Warrior, and which one?
The first one, just Mad Max, and Mad Max 2. I think everyone just refers to it as The Road Warrior. So
Yeah.
that was the one that really got popular.
Hmm.
And I think like a lot of sci-fi and fantasy movies, the second one is always the more popular one.
Yeah,
you
You know
notice
what I
that?
just realized?
Because I think it's more better. What's up?
I call you Shamrock, and Foster calls you Gray.
Yeah, whatever. Gray. You got a problem with gray people?
Sorry, man, I didn't mean it.
What were you gonna say?
I will not have this anti-gray Riley in the group anymore. This is not fair to gray people.
Oh my God.
Do you hear the people upstairs? They hate that you hate gray people.
Well, gray people get on my nerves.
Oh God.
They're always so gray.
Oh
Gray
God.
Shamrock? What
Yeah,
Let's
I
go
do.
on to let's go on to a different topic. Are you guys ready, or did you want to continue with your Mad Max? It's up to you guys.
I'm
Yeah.
iffy on the game. Like they've shown so little of it.
I can agree.
You can't really just jump on it and say it's going to be awesome. Once I see gameplay footage and more about it, then I'll make a decision.
And this is another just random topic,
Mhm.
but I was watching like a Minnesota. I haven't watched Minnesota Burns in like a few months, so I decided to go to his channel, and he's just not that good of an editor.
Wait. How do you know of Minnesota Burns and not Woody's Gamertag? They've done stuff together, right?
He's been on a lot of PKAs.
Yeah.
I haven't watched Minnesota Burns in months. Like I watched him like last night, and I realized like he doesn't cut any clips out. He just does like the whole thing. Like he doesn't cut his clips.
I kind of like that though. See, I don't
Well, I mean,
like
what kind of clips are
like
you
there
talking?
are some games. Go ahead.
Like, not everything should be cut
Yeah.
up. I mean, there are some videos that definitely need to be edited. But, I mean, with a lot of my videos, like Fridays with Foster, I just leave in the whole gameplay clip because it would be weird to just show the good parts and
See,
not
I
show
can agree
the
with
funny
you on
parts
that,
of me
like-
doing it.
I hate when people like when you're watching a Let's Play and they like cut out half the thing. And like,
Yeah,
you have no idea what
like
happened.
Minecraft, I saw a Minecraft video where a guy's like, okay, I'm going to show you how to survive the night in Minecraft, and he was like starting to dig dirt, and then it does like a white fade, and he goes, and now we have our house, and we can live the night.
Wow.
And it didn't end there. If it ended there, it would have been a funny video, but then he was like fighting spiders, and it was just an awful video.
Mm-hmm.
If you made that video and you're watching,
Be terrible.
Get some
better
skill.
videos,
Watch
dude.
my videos. Favorite and like and subscribe, and you'll get better.
yeah, have you seen Foster's Mind, dude? Come on. Yes,
I
watch
have
Foster's
something
Mind.
to. No, I don't. So what was I gonna say before that? Damn it.
Thanos Gaming's really good.
Minnesota Burns. Like I like how he'll leave in the whole games from time to time. Like he will cut them if it's like a little montage of trolling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like KY or Speedy, for example, he loves to cut the videos up.
I like KY Speed's videos. So I like when
Right.
edited, I'll cut up.
But
and
he
stuff.
made like white noise. He did white noise, and I was the original one to do that. I got over like 70 views, and I'm very proud of that video. Very funny. You guys should really go check that out. Anyway, it appears that he likes to cut that up too, and I hate that. You know, I want to see your reaction. And I know his network pal, Nobody Epic, uploaded the full thing, so it was like a.
Sorry.
No, it's alright, man. It was a kind of redirection. Like if you want to see every single bit of this, then go over to his channel, and that's a smart move to do. But he just chops up the videos too much, and I hate that. I really do hate that. I mean, yes, his comedy ones, like his usual comedy, that's perfect fine, but not White Noise and Slendy. But
White Noise, I don't really think it needs to be cut up, but like Call of Duty and stuff, that like some parts of that need to be cut up.
Right, because there's not every single bit of it is funny, and not every right. I see. Foster, where do you stand on it? You said you never cut up the gameplay. I mean, I do. If I'm going on a losing streak,
Foster,
I do.
And well, that's the thing. I just don't go on losing streaks because I'm good.
I mean, no.
Sure thing.
Shut up. If you have not seen hell, my good friend, until you have played MW3 and MW2 on the PC. There are so many hackers. You have not witnessed hell.
Okay, I don't want to.
That's why I go. That's
oh my
why
gosh,
I go on a
dude.
losing streak. What's up?
In Black Ops 2, like a few days ago, I met the coolest hacker ever. It was awesome. Sorry, that's just
okay. The story ends there.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I was kind of interested, like hacker. Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder what kind of
changed his
wacky
name
adventures they went on.
His name was iMod Lobbies. Yeah, they changed his name from that to F you all, and like in Rainbow, like in middle of a lobby.
Okay.
And like
wonderful.
He had like a hacked title, like it was a GIF.
Speak.
No,
Riley.
Foster, you cannot.
But, no, listen here. Listen. Before we get talking about modding, I do want to talk a little bit about a different sort of different sort of struggle that we YouTubers go over, because you're talking about editing things out. There is something that I do edit out in my audio, and right now I can't because we're in a podcast.
You know what?
Can you hear these neighbors?
No, we can't, for the most part.
All right, I know they definitely pick up. I've been editing a few times, and I have a headset that completely covers my ears, so I can't hear a whole lot. What's going on around me? These neighbors, every single Friday, which, not that I do any big videos on Friday, except Foster's Mind,
you should
and
be
Fridays
as
with
loud as
Foster.
Dude, Saturday mornings, you should be as loud as possible. Just to get some revenge. You should.
Or just like grab a 12
I'm
pack
sure I'm
and like
horrible.
go up to the door like,
You
can
guys have
I
seen
join
my
the
videos.
party?
I scream a lot in my videos, so I'm sure I'm pretty bad too. It's one of those things where it's like I'm allowed to be loud because I'm making videos. Why are you guys being loud? What do you mean you're entertaining?
I mean, Foster, what like, I hate loud and noisy guests, and especially when they don't care. Like, they know they're being loud and obnoxious, but they don't give a shit. I hate those people.
Yeah, I'm not entirely fond.
New topic, guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna lose my mind if I just keep concentrating on what's going on.
I had one joke to tell. You know who doesn't have to edit out their audio because their mics always work? Astro Gaming. Oh, guys, thanks, guys. I even told you. Okay, thanks. So, out of the topic list, we had, in a couple months here, we're going to see the PS4 drop, and the Battlefield 4 beta will come out next month. And I realized this a couple days how quickly they're approaching. What about you guys? Are you guys prepared for the upcoming gold rush of gaming?
I'm prepared. I'm absolutely prepared. I've got a little trick up my sleeve that I told you about that we're not going to reveal right now.
We will not.
But
we will never.
You know about it, and
Yes,
I'm pretty excited.
Riley, did you disappear and or die again?
He's been sucked into the void.
Again.
Oh,
There
snap.
you are. Riley, talk, man. Are you prepared for the gaming gold rush?
What's the gaming gold rush?
We talked about this earlier.
We
The
did?
onslaught of YouTubers.
Yeah, like, are you prepared?
That's
Like,
what
in a couple
yeah.
months, we're gonna see the PS4 and Xbox One. Like, it hasn't hit me. Like, man, E3 was just recent to me. It wasn't, of course, that was months ago, but it.
You know what?
During E3, I'm like, man, I can't. We have plenty of time, but now in August, 1 month from now, and I believe the BF4 beta will be out.
Yeah.
You know what? I was thinking, like, if Last of Us 2 comes out for PS4, I'm going to cry.
Okay.
Because I'm not getting a PS4.
Actually, there was also some news I forgot to mention, but I
Alright.
guess this is the best time to mention it. There was confirmation that during a press conference by the developers, Naughty Dog, and the publishers, there is, quote, no direction they have for the game, unquote. So, what that means for all gamers out there, we will most likely not see a Last of Us 2. We will definitely see some DLC and maybe some other details of that DLC coming out for future
Wait,
DLC,
so no Last
I
of
guess
Us 2.
micro DLC. But there will not be a Last of Us DLC. I mean, Last of Us 2. So
Okay.
yes, there will not be another amazing.
There has to be a part 2, though. Like, the way they ended the game, there has to be.
Are you gonna spoil it again?
I'm not. That's all
There
I said,
will be,
Buster.
well, they did say there will be DLC, 4 DLC packs, of course, but there will not be a confirmation of a Last of Us 2 for another 3 years if they wanted to actually make another one. Because that's how long it took. It took about 2011, about 2 years, almost 3.
That sucks.
And they were, let's see.
You just said you'd cry
Oh,
if they were gonna come out with
You remember
The
that?
Last of Us 2.
Okay, I have a lot of news here. The Xbox One GPU speed, which may not mean much to you, Riley, since I don't know if you're up to, like, do you know the difference from a CPU and a GPU?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
This probably will not mean much.
Well,
to you.
I think that actually Riley's probably the norm. I think we are the
Right.
minority here.
Yeah, I'm not making fun of him either, but this may not mean much to you, but and this is true. IGN covered it, so it's not a rumor. And
Well, I mean, IGN's miscovered a lot of things before.
well, no, this is like confirmed. Xbox One, Microsoft upgraded the GPU speed and graphics drivers. What that means is basically gaming will appear smoother. It'll appear better. It'll load better. Rendering won't take as long. Instead of a level load taking 10 seconds, it'll be 5 seconds. Just for example, that's not an actual thing, but just for example, instead of it taking just that amount of time, it will now be faster to render, and the game will now be smoother.
Yeah, I mean, it's expected. I don't think anyone expected the consoles to take a step back and have a slower speed. But one of the things that really impressed me is Dead Rising 3 is an incredible open world, and it's going to have 0 loading screens. And that was one of the
That's awesome.
drawbacks with Dead Rising and Dead Rising 2 is they had excruciating loading screens. And now that they're eliminating that in an open world, I'm incredibly excited. This is promising for a launch title to be promising something like that. I'm excited to see what the future is like.
Speaking of the future of many games, this will probably get you guys real riled up. Have you guys heard of Destiny by Activision?
What?
Destiny by Activision. It was revealed at E3. Remember?
I don't really care about.
No, I'm
E3.
just scowling right now.
I think it's
Seriously,
for the
I'm like the
PS3.
only gamer who doesn't keep up to date on games.
I don't even know what games you play.
Am I being trolled?
God, do you remember Destiny? Fuck, it's like
What's
the
Destiny?
oh my God, it was going to be an Xbox exclusive, but then some things happened.
No,
They said, no, you know what?
It never.
Somewhat.
No, listen to me. It never was going to be an Xbox exclusive because this is made by Bungie, who made it a very strong point years ago to separate from Microsoft. This is the
names their
first
kid
game that
Bungie?
Bungie has developed since Halo. It's by the creators of Halo, and it's going to be on all platforms.
Foster, I'm afraid
I
to
know
counter-argue
about
that
Destiny.
point because I know what I'm talking about, and I know that they were going to make Destiny a Xbox. No, wait, never mind. My apologies. It was Titanfall. My apologies. I'm sorry. But Activision released earlier saying that Destiny has potential to be a billion-dollar series in profit.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's going to be on. I think it's going to be on current consoles as well as next gen.
PS3. It's going to be on PS. They already have the cover art confirmed for the PS3. I can link that if you guys want. But yes, it will
let's
be on
give
current.
credit where credit is due to Bungie, because Activision's got nothing to do with Destiny. Destiny was being developed before Bungie was even purchased by Activision. So.
All right. So here's the link. It's by IGN. Real easy to find, real hard to miss. It should be on the PS3 main community side, like the forums. Really easy to find. But just in case you guys can't find it, I'll try and remember to put it in the description below. Now there is also another game I don't really play. I used to play the old ones. Have you guys ever played the Metal Gear Solid series? Anyone?
What's Metal Gear Solid?
Jesus, you better be.
Riley, you have 10 seconds to stop my blood from boiling.
Sorry.
Oh, you haven't played Metal Gear!
What's Metal Gear?
Man,
Metal
I'm
Gear.
throwing my headset off.
It's
throwing it off.
Yep.
Throwing it. Gloves are off. Metal Gear
So-
Solid 1, one of the classic games from my childhood.
Yes.
Metal Gear Solid 2, I'd poop on that game if I could. Metal Gear Solid 3...
Gross.
Metal Gear Solid 3 brought back the love for the series, and Metal Gear Solid 4 is, I think, the best-rated PlayStation 3 exclusive.
Yes, and also recently released by Konami, they are now asking fans if they would like a Metal Gear Rising Revengeance sequel. So it's all up to the fans whether or not they would like to see a sequel. See, it's Konami that I like. Like they don't they could really endlessly pump out sequels like Call of Duty does, but they choose to actually listen to the fans. Like, do you guys actually want to see this series continue, or do you want us to kind of somewhat end it off here, or whatever the case may be?
Yeah. Well, from what I've heard, like I didn't want anything to do with it because, you know, Metal Gear Solid 2 sucked because, you know, you weren't playing as Snake, and again you're reprising the role of I can't even remember his name. The guy from the Metal Gear Solid 2. Come on, help me out here. Am I the only one that played it?
I played it, but that was years ago.
Raiden. Thank you, me that looked it up. Raiden from Metal Gear Solid 2, and that's the star of Metal Gear Solid Vengeance, and I'm guessing Revengeance 2. And I did not really expect much from that game. I thought it was going to actually get hated by a lot of people because of that. From what I hear, it's not the same Metal Gear that you'd be familiar with, you know, stealth-wise, but it's very difficult, and I like
love the
difficult games.
Stealth is like.
I might get Revengeance too if they make
In case you're wondering, have you ever played SOCOM, U.S. Navy SEALs, or ever heard of that?
That's where Two Shot gets his name from.
Okay.
Not even joking.
Riley, have you ever heard of that?
Don't ask him. He hasn't heard of anything.
No.
Basically, it's. Have you heard of Uncharted? This will be an easy.
I have all the Uncharted's, but I don't like
Okay,
them.
imagine. You're a dumbass. Imagine.
They suck.
Dude, I'm gonna rant about you in a minute. Basically, it's a very stealth-centered game. Whenever you're playing as Snake, even though you used a very notorious box to enter an enemy's base.
Exclamation mark.
Yes. So, real quick, fun fact. Do you remember Lee from Metal Gear? You remember that? Lee? Lolly?
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, the reason why they named him such a weird name, Lolly Lou Lelo, I think it was his name, or Loli, something like that.
We're great with names.
Yeah, it's because the sound doesn't exist, like the L sound doesn't exist in Japan's phonetic alphabet. I believe if it's if it's an L, like a la, I believe it's a gra for them. So it'd be
It's kind of racist.
not
Yeah,
really.
we're kind of we're actually I think we might be getting a little borderline here.
No, what
Yeah.
I mean here is, since the L sound doesn't exist in their alphabet, it's impossible to say, and that's the reason why they named it after what they did. I think it was like Lolly. I think I got it right the first time, but that's why they named it after it.
Okay.
Yes. So new. Oh, by the way, BioShock Infinite hits Mac August and the 29th. So here's my rant. You play a lot of Call of Duty, don't you?
Who, me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Far Cry?
Yeah, dude, I play Far Cry.
Do you like it?
Far Cry 3, yeah.
Okay, have you played Far Cry 2, Far Cry 1?
Nope.
Have you ever heard the line, do you know what insanity is?
Oh, yeah, I heard that.
Okay, you are the definition of that line. I cannot believe you think Assassin's Creed and Uncharted suck. And I'm not saying that because I'm a fan of them and I like them for obvious reasons. But why don't you like these series? You don't even like Battlefield? I don't think you like it. Like, why? Why? Why do you like Call of Duty so much? And the main Far Cry 3 that's so mainstream. But you don't like all these classic games. And you've never heard of these classic games. I don't understand. And he shuts up. Okay. Okay. Is anybody here? Did someone die?
I know I'm here.
Okay,
I'm
his
just,
mic isn't
I'm
working.
trying to like avoid.
My point.
This.
Look, what I'm trying to say here is, why the hell you're the typical COD fanboy. You hate every game, but Call of Duty. Uncharted 3, it's an amazing game. I understand that people do not like it, but when you go from I hate whenever this happens, where someone's like, okay, do you like Uncharted? Nope. Okay, well, here we go again. Do you like Assassin's Creed? Nope. Well, okay, let's go again. Do you like the Battlefield series? Nope. Okay, let's try again. You're getting in an infinite loop, and the only game you appear to like is Far Cry 3 and Call of Duty, which really pisses me off because you are not that open. And I understand you may not like it because it's your preferences, but why don't you like the storyline of Assassin's Creed and Uncharted? That's the best part about it. I don't mind. Like, I could watch it as a movie, and I still wouldn't mind. I would think it's an awesome movie because the storyline is amazing.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can
You're just a
barely
little
hear
quiet.
you. Try and do what you did last time. Just don't blow in your mic. I don't understand.
I think that what we need to. I think that the reason behind my throat is dying on me. Ah! Oh! All right, there we go. That's better. All right, I think the reason that a lot of people kind of have this feeling about these games, and that's because these games are story-driven, and they're not,
It will not stop coming loose.
There you are.
You sound.
And I still can't hear you people.
Oh. The point is that I'm trying to make is the games that Riley likes are games that you need to constantly be immersed in, and that you need to have those sort of twitchy thumbs, and that are very action-oriented. And
Uncharted is action-oriented.
well, it's action-oriented, but it's also
Like my
very
mic wants to coming
adventurous.
loose.
That's alright, Riley. Can you hear us now?
Yes.
Okay, go on, Foster.
It's very adventurous, and adventure is the main point of Uncharted, and it's not, gunfights all the time.
Oh my God.
It's not where you're.
I don't know if you've played Uncharted 2. Probably my favorite Uncharted. I'm like 6 hours into the 12-hour campaign of Uncharted 3. Fucking beast. But there's a lot more gunfights in Uncharted 2.
There are a lot more
Uncharted
gunfights, but it's not the main element of the game. The main element of the game is adventure.
But Riley, why don't you like Assassin's Creed 2 Assassin's Creed series? Or
I just didn't find it fun. I hate the angle. I hate the game. Like, none of it made sense to me.
Because, I don't want to sound like a gaming psychologist here, but I think that Riley...
You fight one guy at a time. Like, how come they all of a sudden group up on you?
Wait,
You
what?
know?
Again, I'm trying to say here,
I don't think
Riley prefers a lot of heavy action in games. Like Call of Duty,
You don't know
there's
me.
a lot. I'm defending you, asswipe. Now listen,
Oh my
suck for
God.
not liking Uncharted, and you suck for not liking Assassin's Creed, and you suck for only playing Call of Duty. How dare you, sir? How dare you?
Oh my God! Hold up. This is well needed.
Actually, like Borderlands too.
Another action game. Like
Oh my
there's
God.
all these games that you like seem to
And
be
Metro Last Light.
You want me to edit that part out, Foster? Like put a beep
No,
in there? and-
totally
No,
keep
no,
that
just
in.
keep it in.
You should make that like
fine.
a whole clip itself, just to make that like.
I
one
want to
part
kind
itself.
of put
one
it on
video.
an infinite loop.
Is that going to be the highlights,
Yeah.
or?
Yes,
that's
put down the
gonna make the
highlights.
highlights. That will definitely make the highlights.
Oh,
Anyway,
man.
new topic. New
Yeah, let's
topic.
change topics here.
All right, I'm defending you. Okay. Um, What did I want to talk about here? So,
Hey,
Talk about how
why don't we talk
Battlefield
about
sucks.
more adventure games?
sure. You know what they should really make another sequel to?
Tomb Raider.
Battlefield.
Yeah, that one too. But mainly
said
SOCOM and
not.
U.S. Navy SEALs. Wait, what? I didn't hear you.
I said not Battlefield, and he said, yeah, that one too.
I was talking about Tomb Raider, but
Oh,
they
I'm
need
sorry.
to make one for SOCOM U.S. Navy SEALs. The reason why I'm so good at being stealth in the Last
Metal
of
Gear?
Us.
Oh,
Yeah, Metal Gear. Whenever I did play it, yes. And what was the other one? Uncharted 3 and Assassin's Creed is because I played a lot of U.S. Navy SEALs like SOCOM. And the main aspect of it, you were equipped with the most badass weapons you will ever find in a video game, but that's not the main orientation. They have 3 different silencers in the old games for a reason. You're not supposed to go loud. You're not supposed to go just for firefights. You're just supposed to be stealth, maybe knife a guy, come up behind
just
him,
for
assassinate
fun
him.
fights.
I meant to say firefights, but
I like your idea better. I'm picturing everyone like wearing party hats, like fun fight.
everybody fun fight. Pulls out a silenced pistol. It's getting fun.
Yeah,
I want you
Confetti
to
guns.
come to my party where we're gonna have some fun.
fun fight.
There's
Yeah,
gonna be
fun
cake.
fight.
You want the
Oh.
fun cake?
I got cake. I got ice cream. Fun fight.
You guys want to talk about State of Decay and
Commercials.
zombie games?
State of
Talk about
Decay.
what?
State of Decay, zombie games mainly.
State of Decay.
Oh
was
my god,
sad.
State of Decay is the most addictive game oriented around survival, right next to Minecraft. It's very addicting to me, and I don't know what the best weapon you've ever gotten. I've watched your Let's Play, but I can't remember the best weapon you've ever gotten. The best weapon I have right now is the best grenade launcher, and it looks like the War Machine from Call of Duty, if that helps you. And
Wait. Are you able to actually use it? Because
Yes.
I find that if I use it, I'm getting swarmed by hundreds of zombies. It's like they're
creates such a loud
everywhere.
noise. It creates
Exactly.
such a loud noise. So what I do with it is if I see there's like a distraction request, I'll go for that distraction request, and then I'll go on top of a survey point and just launch one off, get in cover, and I'm done with that mission. I just drive out of there, and I'm done.
I can't use vehicles very often. I never use a gun because I'm afraid of everything. I'm not sure. This might be a spoiler if you guys care about my series, but something happened in the 6th episode that sticks with me the entire game that I will never get over.
Whenever you first played it with Marcus, I was pissed off. I'm like, dude, be stealth for fuck's sakes. Oh my god. And then
I'm stealthy
the
now.
reason why the feral snuck up on you is because you were charging in there.
I know. I'm stealthy now. I got torn to pieces.
I saw it. And what's the best weapon you've come across that you can tell us about?
It's kind of a spoiler if I say
Okay.
it. So I'm just watch the series.
Yeah. So the best weapons I've come across, and I've been lucky. Like, I'm an aggressive scavenger, and I'll probably put up a strategy video at some point at the end of this year about it. But basically, I'm an aggressive scavenger. That's how you survived, especially in State of Decay, where you have infinite amount of inventory at a supply locker, and you get influence for it. Then aggressive scavenging is your best friend. Anyway, the whole thing with the weapons, there's no best weapon as far as I know. But the best assault rifle and grenade launcher is the GML3 grenade launcher, the one that looks like a UMP, and then the War Machine look-alike. And then I have 2 Scar H looking ones, if you've ever seen any of them. They have like they're kind of like the ones the military use, but they are long range and mid range, and they're absolutely beast. It's a fully automatic and 3-round burst, and it's fucking beast. It has a scope on it. It's made by British Special Forces, as it's named in the video game. And then if you're friends with the Wilkersons, you can get 3 extra weapons: the TMP, an badass sniper rifle, and a very weird looking assault rifle. But basically, I am OP. The base is Fort Knox. Like, no one can touch me. If I have a silencer, and I always carry around the homemade silencer with 30 shots on them, I'm invincible, and it's real badass. I love being invincible.
All right, I think we might want to change the subject though, because as much as I could talk about State of Decay all day, there aren't a whole lot of people who have the game. It's
okay. It's
a very small amount of people. It's an arcade, Xbox Live Arcade. You can get it now. Highly recommended.
Yes.
If you can get past, like, initially, if you just play like the first 20, 30 minutes of the game, you probably aren't gonna like it. It's one of those games that once you push through and get to the meat of potatoes of like upgrading your base and gathering survivors, that's when it becomes an amazing game.
Yes, it is so addicting. I highly recommend it. It beats out $60.
The trial
games. It's
doesn't.
only $20.
The trial definitely doesn't give the game justice because you don't get into the game in the trial.
Yeah.
You gotta just get the game, get into it, and if you like the aspect of survival and building up bases and collecting people, if you're like tower defense kind of thing, but more action survival, you're gonna love this game.
Now,
so let's move on.
Yeah, one more thing. It's kind of like Dead Island, if you're wondering, but it has different aspects. More
a better
aspects to it.
version, a much better version.
Yes, it's amazing.
Don't compare it to that. Do not.
I was afraid to because I thought I was going to be criticized about it, but
I understand the
it has
comparison,
much more
but
aspects
it's
to
a
it.
much better game.
Okay, so new topic. Riley, you still with us or are you dead?
I am so dead right now.
Okay.
Oh no.
So here's the more interesting question to ask you guys. Have you ever heard of
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Yeah. Never mind. Here, I'm just gonna pose the question here. With our society becoming more and more reliant and oriented around science and technology, mainly like computer science and technology, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, prosthetic limbs that are robotic that you can actually feel and use with, etc., etc., is it a good thing that we are advancing enough, or if you look on the opposite side of the spectrum, is it a bad thing that very little amount of the population knows how it works? To rephrase the question all in one big whole giant gift box, with the society becoming more and more oriented around advanced technology, is that a good thing or is it a bad thing since not everyone or many people know how it works?
Well, I think, without getting overly philosophical here, we are, as a society, curious. And I think that no matter what, there are going to be people who are fascinated by these things that will become experts on everything. Everything that we've created, we will still have experts on just based on human curiosity. So I don't think it's something that we need to worry like 100 years from now. No one's going to know how all this technology works. We're going to take things apart. We're going to rebuild them. And we're always going to have that innate curiosity that defines humanity. And because of that, I don't fear that we're not going to understand all this technology. I think the average person won't, but there will always be experts there to guide us.
I see your point, but what happens? Like, we have experts nowadays that know about prosthetic limbs, and I'm one of the 1% of the population that knows much more than the average juvenile knows. Like, I'm at the top tier 0.001%.
Brag about it.
I will brag about it. And there's so many things that are not on the media. I guarantee you, it is not on ABC. It is not on CNN. Nothing. It's not on BBC, NBC, whatever. It's not on any media sources. It's on university. It's on medical sites, etc., etc. But no media. Media isn't covering it because they don't know much about it. They don't give two fucks about it. They just want to hear about Trayvon Martin getting shot again. That gets them their views. But there's so many things that we are developing. We've now developed. It's meat, it's cow meat, but we developed it with stem cells of that cow. So instead of having to slaughter all these damn cows and, kind of ration them out in between countries, we can now clone the things. In an entity, we are cloning these animals, and it is purely amazing to see such amazing technological advances in our own theories. Like, we had no idea this could be done. Guess what? Fuck you. That's why. It's science.
Yeah.
And
well, if you think about
one more thing. There is a prosthetic limb that is now an alpha stage, as we would refer to it as if it was a video game. It's now an alpha, which means open to an exclusive amount of people. Beta means it's open to testing by most hospitals, and then released means, well, obviously what it is. It's standard. there is a prosthetic limb. It looks kind of metallic. I believe Infinity Ward has one guy that already has it. And you can check on their Facebook page, Infinity Ward. And the guy has it. And you can feel everything and anything. It's like it's a regular arm. Like there may be like a 0.01 difference in milliseconds of reaction time. Like instead of clicking this button right now, it'll take about 0.001% of a difference to click. There's that much of a difference. Yeah, you can feel it. Like it's like a human arm.
It's,
so don't
it's
get that
very
one blown
close,
off.
and it's very exciting that we've been able to create such a thing. But it's one of those things where the information is out there for people who are interested in it, but because the average person isn't going to show an interest in it, there's no point in putting it on the media. There's no point in them doing a piece on it if no one cares except this small percentage of people who are passionate about it. And like I said, you found the information. We don't need to go to the media. The media isn't our only source of information. We have the internet to browse to our heart's content what we're passionate about and what we are interested in.
Right. But what's like, you could imagine like a media covering this like evolutionary breakthrough in medical science where a new prosthetic limb that is entirely based around the human arm has now been developed and has now been released in alpha stage.
Well, I don't think that
I can imagine it.
I don't think that they haven't done it. I think
just did a report on there. Foster, I just did a report. I had the whole thing.
Okay.
I just did a full report on it. I even had the title of what it was going to be called, like how I would start out from transitioning to a different story.
Well, exactly,
come on.
I mean, you look at these big media stations, how often do you watch them?
I watch it every day, bro. I watch the local, then ABC, and then back to the local. I do that every day because it's not because I'm addicted to the news. I watch Seinfeld, I watch Family Guy, I watch Big Bang Theory, I watch all these other shows.
You watch Seinfeld?
Yeah, it's a good show.
I hate that show.
Oh my god, shut the fuck up, bro.
It's not even funny.
Hold on a second. Seinfeld, this just baffled my mind. I just realized that Riley was born after Seinfeld was canceled. Or not canceled, after it ended.
It's on TBS if you ever want to watch it. Like they show it every day right after they show King of Queens after.
All right, let's stop the sitcom thing and let's get
anyway, what I mean here, what my part is going to end off here. I don't know about you, but with the reason why I would rather fund NASA to an extent, whether like they should get extra fund, like the leftover funding instead of extra funding, is because which sounds worse? We as humans have become so advanced over 100 years, only just 100. We have many more years to come, that we have now scoured the universe, and we have now found no intelligent life. We have now found anything and everything that we have ever wanted to know, and anything and everything is open to us to know, and every single thing in the universe has now been unlocked. What's beyond it, what's in it, where the cosmos came from, why there's a void in the fucking middle of the universe, what a black hole is made out of. We know every single thing that we could ever desire to know. But we are alone. What's worse between that and what we are at right now, where we have no idea what's outside of this solar system on a general population note? We have no idea if Pluto is a fucking dwarf planet or not. We have no idea about anything and everything, and we are able to contemplate it on a curious state as we as human beings were made to. What's worse?
Well, I think that if there will never be a point. I think that the reason that you bring this up is
fucking philosophy.
But I
that's
don't think
why
that we can get to a point. I don't think there's a point we can get to where we do know everything, because right when it's like we know everything, then it's like, what the hell was that? Oh, good God! There's another universe opening up. What's that guy doing?
We know. No, in that case, we know everything. We know what's beyond there. We've traveled there. We know everything about that. We know everything about the universe to our heart's content and more.
But then we don't know everything about ourselves.
No. We know everything. You're not understanding.
Okay,
we know anything
everyone knows everything.
Boston, we know anything and everything, and we are left with nothing.
Alright, so it's completely hypothetical.
We are truly the loneliest species in the universe. We have no one to communicate this with but ourselves. And even then, everyone knows about it already.
Well,
and there's nothing else to contemplate. There's nothing else to think about throughout the universe. There's nothing else to think about, like, where did the cosmos come from? Why is there a void there? What is dark matter versus antimatter? What is matter versus antimatter?
I'm going to
we
throw
have
something
nothing
at you
else
that
to
you're
think
not
about.
going to expect here.
And that's the worst thing about being a human, is if we have a fear of not knowing, and then we have a love of not knowing.
Exactly. I get what you're saying.
They're both equally bad. If
I'm going to throw something at you.
Go ahead.
What if, at that point, humanity creates subspecies and observes them see what they do?
God.
And
another YouTuber and I were talking about this a couple nights. We're like, he asked me, could we reverse engineer our own species? And I think that's what you're getting at here. Can we create a subspecies? Am I right here?
Yeah, exactly. Could we create another sentient species? And at that point, I think then, we would become, I guess, godlike entities who create another species. And I'm not saying that this is something that could happen, or is something that I believe has happened, or that I don't believe it could happen. I'm not saying anything solid like that.
Everybody, don't get hurt.
Yeah, I'm just saying, hypothetically, if this happens, I think that's where we'd get our curiosity back, in observing others.
Something else to ponder. Yeah, I see. I mean, it's an interesting thing to think about. Like, if in that scenario, I wouldn't be thinking about it right now, because I already know what I'd be thinking about. But it's also a scary thing to think about. How lonely we would be on the inside, since talking to another person, except a simple I can't say the word equal.
I like that word. Equimatical.
Whatever. An equal, simple form, like, can you get me some milk or my cereal? Other than that, it's pretty scary to think how lonely we would be even on the inside. We have nothing else to think about, nothing else to contemplate. And that's the wonder of the human species. We think and we think and we think. And maybe some humans are not supposed to breed, and they don't really think that much, and they don't really use their ability because, well, that's just how stupid we can be. But it's interesting to think about how lonely we would be inside and out if we were in that scenario.
Yeah, it would be a lonely world, or a lonely universe, I guess. But it's something that is interesting to ponder, but it's not something to worry about.
I guess you're right. Yeah, it's not something to worry about at all. Yeah.
All right, we done with the philosophical hour?
Yes, we are. I enjoyed that. Here, you guys come up with the topic. I've come up with like 7 topics. Shut up, Riley.
Sorry.
Dude, I'm just kidding around. I'm not trying to be harsh. I'm just, it's like a, punch your kind of shoulder, shut up.
Okay.
Yeah, so you guys come up with the topic.
Actually, I've got a question for you guys.
Go for it.
Because a lot of what we do is topical and based on things that are happening, or philosophy or gaming. Why don't we get a little weird?
Let's get a bit motherfucking weird up in here.
I've got a question for you guys. Instead of normal topic, we should answer this question now. Because of something that recent that has happened to me. Have you ever felt that, or have you ever been in a situation where you think that you are going to die, or that something has happened to the city and you're now going to have to adapt to this? And the reason I bring this up is I did a little vlog, like a joking vlog, where I was running around in public acting like the world has ended and we were fighting crows. But has there ever been a legitimate
I want
situation?
the link to that video.
Has there ever been a legitimate situation where you are like, I think that, either North Korea's on the edge of attacking, or, maybe you were climbing a rock wall and you fell and you're like, this is the end of my life. Has that ever happened to you guys?
I almost died when I was a baby.
How can you remember that?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That's what I was about to say. I don't remember it, but...
So, is there anything like Shamrock? Have you ever been at a situation where you're like, "This is it. My life's about to end"?
No, I don't think so. No.
Yeah, I've only been in that situation
actually
a couple
once,
times.
yeah.
All right, Riley, hit us with it.
I was really young, but I still remember little tidbits of it.
Uh-huh.
And I think I was 4 or 5, and it was in the middle of summer, and we had a family reunion at this park, and I was sleeping, and my dad had to go back to our house to get towels because there's a creek. So my dad and my mom went back to the house because my grandfather and all my family was there. So my dad asked my grandfather if he'd keep an eye on me since I was asleep, and he said he would, and he put me in the back of his car out in the middle of the sun with the doors closed and no windows down. So I started to have a heat stroke. And when my dad got back, my dad like literally almost beat the crap out of my grandpa. And I remember like my dad woke me up and got me outside the car, and like the sun was hurting the top of my head. Like I remember like it really hurt, and they kept on trying to get me to go to the creek.
Damn.
And get out, because there's this big thing. I don't know how to explain it, but there's like a whole bunch of picnic tables, and there's this big thing over it, like shielding the sun, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I was staying under that, and every time I go out in the sun, like the top of my head would hurt. Not like my forehead, but like literally like on top of my head. I remember they would hurt really bad, and they kept on trying to get me in the creek with all my cousins and stuff, so I'd cool down. And like I remember my mom was telling me like I was talking to dead family members and stuff, and I almost died.
But I'm just kidding.
No, dude, seriously.
No.
They said my mom said like I
Well,
talked
no,
to,
I
like,
can understand.
Uncle
Like,
Roy
when you're
who
in that
died.
when you're in that state, like your mind, it's kind of like in that state between sleeping, when you know, logic doesn't work anymore, and you're like talking to lamps and stuff.
I mean, I was
Talking to
really.
lamps.
My mom said that like I would start talking to seriously. There's some guy named Uncle Roy who died a few years before I was born.
Huh. That is pretty cool, actually.
Oh yeah, me almost dying. Pretty cool. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So, Shamrock, you've never been in a situation where you felt either close to death or, you know, if I was like an inch to the left, I could have died. Something like that.
There are times where I think, like, man, this is the time where I'm going to get my ass beat, but no, I've never thought I was going to die.
Really?
Like, yeah, like now I'm a 5'8" basketball and lineman, and no one can fucking tackle me, so I don't give a shit, really, about getting my ass beat, because I can't. But I'm in that case where someone's actually being brutal.
You want to get your ass beat? You want to fight?
No fuss.
You want to fight me?
No.
Come on, bro.
I don't want to
You
get
ain't
my
got
ass
nothing on
shot
me.
while I'm getting tea and Skittles.
You want to see your fate? You want to see death?
No,
I'll
I don't
bring
want to
you
talk
right
to
there
an
and bring
Uncle
you
Roy either. But
Uncle Roy.
I'm coming. I'm coming, Elizabeth. But no. The only, like, what I mean by that is the closest situation is actually getting into a fight where I'm like, man, am I gonna get my ass beat here or not? And that's the closest to death I've ever thought of. No.
Well, I don't want to bring you guys down, so I'll give you the story that I guess is least depressing about me feeling like I was about to die.
Oh,
And,
So I just got done eating a couple Big Macs, and I thought to myself,
my
I ain't
chest
gonna
hurts.
make it, anybody.
Okay, that's not what happened at all. All right, so I'm let's see, how old am I here? I think I'm 12 years old, and I was playing hockey, and you know, I was getting ready. I was it was a practice day, so you know, it was just my team, people who I trusted, and I was the goaltender. I didn't have my mask on yet because we weren't even on the ice. We were just getting ready, and this asshole, Nico was his name. I'm not going to say his last name because, you know, I don't want.
Nico Bellic?
Yeah, Nico Bellic. I don't want any chance of, you know, someone looking him up on Facebook and being like, "You did this to Foster." But
Who the hell are you? I'm Foster, subscriber.
Speaking of
so this
Facebook,
guy,
accept my
back
friend.
then we didn't have like the modern day hockey sticks. We were like playing with big wooden hockey sticks that. Those things, if you didn't wear gloves and you took a shot with a wooden hockey stick, your whole body started to like ring because of the kinetic force.
Right.
Kind of like
So-
baseball, like when you hit a ball really hard with a metal
Exactly,
baseball bat,
Yeah,
no gloves.
Yeah.
So, I'm getting ready, and I stand up. I'm, you know, looking around, trying to find my glove, I think. And Nico goes, "Hey, Foster, check this high shot out!" And he whips his stick back and slap shots my face, not the puck. He whiffed on the puck. He did not even hit the puck. That stick hits my jaw, breaks a few teeth. I might have fractured my jaw at that point, but you know, I was on a crappy little island at the point, and we didn't have like a good hospital. I never got it X-rayed. I just knew that my teeth are broken, and the way that it hit, I guess my jaw got moved to the left, and my teeth scraped my tongue to the point where it almost split in half.
Damn.
Like my tongue was gushing blood. My teeth have shattered. It felt like Pop Rocks in my mouth. And I run to the bathroom.
Flavored Pop Rocks.
Yeah, I run to the bathroom, and I spit out blood, and I thought I'd spit out blood, and that'd be the end of it, and I can sort of stop the bleeding. It was like a tap. It was a constant flow of blood, and it started like I was looking up at the mirror, and my face was just covered in blood, and my throat started to fill up with blood, and I couldn't breathe. And I was thinking to myself, I'm going to choke to death on blood, and I'm not even sure what's going to happen first, if I'm going to bleed out or if I'm going to choke to death. And I put my hand in my mouth, and I felt the separation. Whoa! So it was it didn't go all the way through. It wasn't all the way through my tongue, but it was a deep, deep cut, and I felt the separation there, and I felt the blood oozing, and I was trying to stop the bleeding, but I could feel my heartbeat because the blood would hit my finger at the same rate as my heart, and it was the most horrifying moment of my entire, I guess, hockey life. And that was the only moment where I felt like I was going to die. That isn't depressing.
I would have beat the crap out of that guy.
Oh man, Nico was a bad friggin' egg.
So
one bad cookie.
in my case, there I would have done the same thing, kicked someone's ass.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be the only one that
break over
goes
his
home with a
back.
couple broken teeth, kind of situation. But
it's one of those things where it's I'm gonna freak out now and kick his ass later. I don't think at that moment anyone's gonna be time to kick ass while I'm choking on my blood.
Well, time to freak out. I'll be right back to kick your ass. You hear that, Nico? Stay right there.
The creepiest moment was I remember on my middle finger when I had my hand in my mouth, feeling the blood hit squirt out of my tongue and hit my finger repeatedly. Every time my heart pumped, blood would squirt onto my finger, and it was
That's nice.
ah!
Man, that sucks.
So that's my story.
I still think I'd have to punch one in the face.
It's been going quite some time. Do you think this is where we should end it?
Let me end it off with the funniest story I have to date.
All right, let's end it on funny.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so this was my second to last relation because whenever I am in school, I get the weirdos. I get the crazies. I'd rather get the too damn clingy people or I get the weirdos. And I'm going to do commentaries in the future about both of these because they were both creepy as shit and I didn't want anything to do with them. But the first one, long story short, I'm not going to spoil it for any future commentaries, but as I said before, I was the best team of the high school kind of basketball. I'm not varsity, but I was best team, A team as they called it. And
right.
Then I was also lineman, and I'm not fat. I'm just a bit more broad-shouldered. In football, B team. And, long story short, I had connections. I knew, one of my good friends, his father was third in the Mexican Mafia. And whenever he went to jail...
Oh, what?
Yeah, whenever he went to jail, no one wanted to talk to him but his inmate, because the guy that stayed with him in his cell, because they were afraid to piss him off, and then he'd send some goons after him. So I had connections, and I had the body power to the ultimate badassery. And at this point, I recently dumped what is the most
Riley, are you
clingy,
freaked out right now?
the most clingy girl that I've ever dated.
I don't like the way this story's going.
Yeah. no, she didn't get
really
killed.
freaked
Hold
out.
on, no. All right, let's step away
I'm
from
sorry,
the
I
Mexican
said
Mafia.
I'd kick your ass.
Let's step away from the Mexican
joke.
Mafia thing. Let me go back a minute. What I meant here was I had connections, so not many people wanted to fuck with people that had connections because we lived somewhere that the Mexican Mafia had influences on. So if you knew someone powerful like I did, or were good friends with them, or their son, for example, like I was, then you'd have connections. I mean, he was a real good friend. He's a cool guy. But anyway, let's step away from that and let's go to where her friend, her very tiny friend, tries to beat. No, all right. Let's go to where she tried to beat me up. So I'm like a 5'8", 5'7", something like that, and muscle. That's all I'm gonna say. I'll brag about it. she thought she could tackle me, and instead of like, you know how someone will lunge.
That's why
toward
she
you?
should have stayed in the kitchen.
Like,
Oh, I'm sorry.
like she was like 4'8", so that's pretty short already. But she tried to like, you know how someone will lunge to you for a hug around your waist. She tried to do that. She tried to like tackle me. Like, she tried to get around my waist and tackle me, bring me down. And instead, I stepped forward and I grabbed, like, I didn't mean to grab her neck, but I meant to kind of like use my right hand, like she was on my right. I meant to try and use my right hand to kind of like push her to her left so that way she would fall down. Instead, I grabbed her throat and pushed her back up. So, oh man, this sounds dark.
What is supposed to be funny about this exactly?
This is not a very funny story.
You know what? I actually want something funny, so I'm gonna go look in the mirror. I'll be right back.
Oh my god! Oh man!
Alright, the mirror, that wasn't, that would be a little more funny than it was, but,
Oh my
just made me
god!
feel
Alright,
sad.
I'm good. I'm gonna have to edit that part out. Anyway,
What?
so what exactly happened was, instead of, like, I didn't mean to actually, I don't beat up women, because here's how I would look at it. If you want to act like a man, I'm going to treat you like one. Like, meaning if you want to get in a fist fight, then so be it. But let me finish. 'Cause it sounds real dark right now.
That's kind of
Instead of me
douche thing to
pushing
say.
her to her left, real, like, just, you know, kind of very slowly, like, instead of me setting her down, I instead grabbed her by the throat, kind of pushed her backwards. That's
Grabbed her by the throat, that's kind of hard.
So, instead
You
of,
know not my power.
Get off me, ho!
So instead of me, oh my god. So instead of me actually, you know, finishing the situation, and I was waiting for more, like she had a couple other guys behind her, and instead of them like,
She had guys behind her, and
yeah, she had like 2 or 3 guys behind her, and they weren't doing shit, and they're like looking at me, they're like with like a stare of, I'm not gonna fuck with this kid, like Mexican mafia friend. Oh, I'm done with this kid. And instead of me actually having to fight, doing something accidental got me out of that situation. So instead of me like lightly pushing her off and taking on 2 or 3 guys, can't remember exactly, I accidentally pushed her completely backwards onto her back and then scared the shit out of them, and then they all 4 or 3 left, and that was the funniest thing.
Are you talking like the kind of push, like you accidentally push someone way harder than you meant to?
If you've I don't know if you've ever played football. Yeah, Riley?
Yeah, dude, I used to play football all the time.
So, if you've ever been tackled from the front, like say you're a quarterback and they're coming in from your right, like the blitz is like really getting through your line, then they're going to tackle you and go, like their head will be on one side. She was on my right, like facing forward, she was on my right side of my hip. So she was already in a good place to tackle me if I didn't really see her. But instead I stepped forward, and instead of like pushing her to, like, you know, kind of, my left hand was on her right shoulder, and instead of pushing her to kind of, you know, get off me, like push her to the ground to my right, instead I kind of pushed her forward while I stepped into it. So there was more force going forward than there was going right. So instead of, and no, I didn't beat the shit out of her, but it did scare the hell out of
No,
her.
you just crushed her windpipe and threw her to the ground.
That's a good way to put it.
Good God.
But it sounded pretty
You
dark.
animal.
But
It
once I
was so
explained
funny. She was like, you know,
She
He was like dying and gagging.
Oh my god, she was coughing up
You should see her
blood.
squirm.
She could barely say, "I'm so sorry." And oh my god, no, that never happened. But
and you looked her in the eyes and you went, "You tell your friends of this day."
You tell your grandchildren, be legendary.
yeah, that's basically what happened. It went from very dark to very funny in my book. But I'm gonna
Yeah,
have
that
to
wasn't
edit part
that
out.
wasn't not funny at all.
That was not funny in the least.
Well, I would like to end this podcast on something that actually is funny and factual.
All right.
Time to mute some people.
Did you know when a male honeybee climaxes during
I've already heard that. I've already heard that fact.
you dick?
I've already heard that.
Anyways,
I've already
anyways,
heard that
That was great timing.
anyways,
Climax is during.
fact.
when a male honeybee climaxes during
Boy, I said, boy, I don't care.
Dude,
I've heard that
come
fact.
on.
I've heard that fact. I've heard that fact so many times. Yes, go on. I'm sorry, go on.
when a male honeybee climaxes during sex, his testicles explode and
Alright, Leslie.
I hate you.
Now it's not funny. Now it just
Way
got
more
too
funny.
real.
GreyShamrock almost killing a girl.
Yeah, true. That's true.
I never killed anyone.
Hey guys,
I mean,
I'm
how
gonna
unfortunate
rephrase
was
my
that?
near-death
I
experience.
mean, he's like,
with
oh
saying,
god,
I have a
oh god,
funny
oh my
story."
god, and falls over dead. See, you know how bad that would suck?
Here, go ahead
getting
and finish up your fact.
Die.
I promise I won't mute.
Alright, if you meet me again, I swear to god.
Okay. Yeah, I'll mute. Just kidding. Go on, please.
When a male honeybee climaxes during sex, his testicles explode and he dies.
I've already heard
I
that
mean-
fact so many times.
I'm just saying. I mean, he's getting some, and all of a sudden, the most painful, excruciating pain of
What?
all time, and then death.
Why is
Was
this
it worth it,
supposed to
honeybee?
be-
Was
I don't
it
think you
worth
guys
it?
understand funny stories or the point of them.
Foster, I thought mine would be funny.
You wanna
but
see something
apparently
funny?
not.
Just go.
Apparently, maybe I shouldn't have brought up the Mexican Mafia thing.
Yeah, you started with, so I know this guy, and you started with, there's a chick I used to date. By the way, I know this guy in the Mexican Mafia.
I know it went very different, but I was trying to explain the situation it was in that area.
Oh, jeez.
It was pretty funny, though. I mean,
So there's this time I
How was
almost
that funny?
died.
You strangled a
very
girl.
funny.
no. I never. My God, it sounds worse than it actually was because
I
it's not
think
like I
he made
wrapped
it
my hand
funny
around
because
the
he
throat.
accidentally looked more badass than he intended.
Yeah, like I
do
had
that
a
every
flat,
day.
I had a flat hand and I pushed her. Like you don't grapple your hand around someone's throat. You kind of accidentally push them there. I mean,
I know what
that
you mean.
sounds so as like no sir, I didn't kill the person. I just wrapped my hand around the throat. No.
It
I had a
bludgeoned her to
flat-
death with a
I had
pipe.
a
It was
flat
all
hand.
accidental.
Like you know how you would use flat hands to push. That's how I was. I wasn't grabbing her throat. I was pushing her kind of to her right. But when I stepped
And
into it,
she just ran into your hand, right?
because
that's the story that we're
that's
going
exact. She tackled into my hand. That's exactly what happened. Because I stepped forward to break the tackle.
Why is she even trying to tackle you like, oh, I love you, so tackle?
No,
No,
she
this
was trying
was
to
her
beat me
friend.
up. Yeah, she was trying to beat me up because I made her friend mad, which is pretty funny. That was hilarious.
I love how people are so overprotective of their friends. Like, dude,
Yep.
it's their battle.
It'll be a different topic a different commentary for a different day. But you guys ready to end off the podcast here?
I'm
yeah.
gonna go cry.
Yeah, me too.
When
I'm gonna
will
look at myself in the mirror and cry.
when will the Fridays with Foster or Fosters with Fridays is what I meant to say there. When will that be up?
Friday.
Today is Friday.
It's
Will it
That's
be
for
out,
the
Foster?
listeners right now.
Friday. Getting down on Friday.
Shut up. Not for the listeners, it's
Oh,
not.
I see.
So,
Okay.
fun.
Right, next
fun.
Friday.
Right.
Looking forward to the weekend.
This is where I meet you.
That, I think, is the only really merited mute that Riley's ever had against him.
Alright, guys. So, thank you for watching. This has been GreyShamrock with Foster the Canadian and some guy named Riley.
Yay! Use my thing.
And as usual, we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Podcast 3.